What's good, YouTube? It's your boy JusticeXFalls. We back at it again with another video, and today we're looking at Star Wars Jedi Survivor. So we're gonna be looking at 8 different enemy types that you will be encountering in this game. If you don't know, Jedi Survivor is the sequel to Jedi Fallen Order. If you haven't played it, go play that right now. I think it's like on Game Pass, or if it's not on Game Pass, it should be really cheap. The game came out years ago, so you should be able to get it. And actually, I'm still playing through it, so I want to finish it before this game comes out in April. So I believe it's April. We'll check later. But without further ado, let's get into this video.
A good action game lives and dies by the strength of its combat, true. But combat mechanics are just one part of the equation. Equally important are the enemies that put those combat mechanics to the test.
Indeed.
And so, one of the things I was most curious about during my visit to Respawn was the enemy design of Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Fortunately, I had design director Jason DeHarris and production director Kasumi Shishido to walk me through a handful of new enemy types that are determined to stand in the way of Cal Kestis.
Cal Kestis. Sounds like such a Star Wars character name. Oh, hold on. That beat is hard.
Early on, the team at Respawn knew that they wanted to incorporate more droids into the fold as far as enemies go. And true enough, there are tons of droids to fight against in Jedi Survivor. From the weak, fodder-like Roger, B-1 battle droids, to the formidable droidicas, also known as those cool roller droids from the prequel movies. According to Shishido, droids give the team much more freedom when it comes to what they can do and what types of weapons they're able to use. Let's individually check out a handful of these droids and talk about what went into each of their designs.
It's the basic bit.
The B-1 droids cover the role of the fodder enemy archetype on the planet Kobo. They're as weak as can be, falling to just one saber slash or reflected blaster shot, but they're usually found in large groups and can still be a dangerous threat thanks to their range and their tendency for hitting Cal while they're off screen. Most notably though, their banter is kind of hilarious. Respawn has really upped their game in Jedi Survivor when it comes to amusing enemy conversations. So, while it may be tempting to just wipe them out with a single force push, exercise some restraint for a few moments to let the dialogue play out, and you'll be rewarded with a good laugh.
That's funny.
The B-2 droids are the bruisers of the droid family. They take a fair amount of hits to bring down and can pack a heavy melee punch while also being armed with both a blaster and a missile launcher to deal damage from afar. There's certainly no pushover, but fall into this really nice spot where once you learn to time parries on their melee attacks, reflect their blaster shots, and always be on the lookout to force pull their missiles, they become much less of a threat.
Yeah, all you really got to worry about in this game is like parrying, like in the unblockable attacks. Like you see the one character turn red, those are obviously unblockable attacks. So if you dodge those and you time your slashes out against their attacks, and you hit that, and you get that parry down, you'll be godlike in this game. Even though it's kind of difficult, it is pretty difficult. They do give you the tools to succeed. They do give you the tools to succeed. Oh, BX droid, they from the Bronx. Let's go.
BX droids are among the more agile droids and will surely put your melee combat skills to the test, as they will regularly parry your attacks and execute multi-hitting spin techniques, while also leaping around the battlefield and just being an elusive target. These droids have canonically been shown to use vibro swords and go up against Jedi, which, according to the team, really gave them a perfect mid-level enemy that can go toe-to-toe against Cal without feeling too fragile.
Yeah, it's always good to have like a humanoid character to go against, because it breaks the monotony of like fodder enemies like you mentioned before, and like big tank enemies that can take a bunch of damage. It's good to see a dynamic character that kind of looks like you and can kind of do similar things to you, because then it kind of forces you to play a little bit differently than you normally would.
You may know them more colloquially as destroyer droids or those rolling droids from the prequels, but they're actually called droidicas. I didn't get a chance to face off against these in my own playtime, but from what I was told from design director Jason DeHarris, fans should expect them to behave as you'd expect from the movies and shows. As he says, they've got the bubble shield. That's classic to the IP, so we have to use that. We have to find a way to make that into the design. So they've got the bubble shield, they roll, and they actually incorporate that into their melee, so you can't just stun lock it forever, he said.
IG 100 Magna Guard.
The IG 100 Magna Guards are highly formidable enemies that anyone who's a big fan of the Clone Wars series should immediately recognize.
Those look like the Clone Wars
These
ones.
are General Grievous's elite bodyguards, and as such, they
Grievous
are highly skilled melee warriors that can give a Jedi a run for their money. The Harris describes the Magna Guards as a superior elite type of enemy that can be offensive, defensive, counter you, and attack in weird rhythms to try and throw the player's own counters off.
Another type of humanoid character that's made to like you said, to break the monotony, to kind of throw you off and give you an actual challenge.
The Shield Trooper was born from a simple need. The team wanted a Scout Trooper that survived a little bit longer. But as with just about every enemy in Star Wars Jedi Survivor, there are several ways to bring them down. You can hack away at their shield with your lightsaber and eventually knock it away, but that would make you vulnerable to the other enemies surrounding you. You could try to maneuver around it and slash its back, but they're generally pretty good at tracking you, and you'd have to find some way to distract them. The ideal way to deal with them, though, is to hold down your force pull to yank their shield away, and then Captain America it right back at them.
Yeah.
Star Wars Jedi Survivor is full of moments like this where you can use your force abilities in ways that make sense to gain an advantage in combat without explicitly being told to use them.
DT Sentry Droid.
The impetus for the DT Sentry Droid was that the team needed a big brute enemy, and so Respawn turned to Star Wars Rebels and found this guy. One of the things that was really appealing about the DT Sentry Droid as an enemy was that they could have different loadouts, and so there are 3 different variations of this enemy that you'll do battle with. One might have a staff and a missile, another might have a hammer, and another might come equipped with a blaster. Shishido said that fans of Rebels and the Bad Batch should understand how menacing these droids are, and
I gotta watch the Bad Batch. Is that good? If you watch the Bad Batch, comment down below. It's on Disney. It's on Disney Plus. I haven't really gotten into that. I wanted to watch Andor too. I watched an episode of Andor and it was fire. I definitely want to finish that. Y'all let me know if y'all watch any of those shows.
And that the first moment you encounter them will be a real oh shit kind of moment. The Harris also added that these are one of the few droids where you can hack off one of its limbs and it would still come at you, with its combat capabilities impacted by the loss of a limb.
KX Security Droid Enforcer.
The KX
these are strong
Enforcer
too.
Appeared in Fallen Order famously as that droid that likes to grab and chokeslam you.
Yeah,
this
grab
particular
and
variant,
body
however,
slam.
will not be doing any chokeslams, as they now come equipped with a stun baton, the weapon of the Scout Troopers. The story behind that is that these droids were used as the trainers of Scout Troopers, and thus are basically 3 times as dangerous as a Scout Trooper would be. The Harris said that they wanted to make the KX droid in Survivor a brawler type of enemy that could block and counter, and that they had thought about making it a hybrid style of enemy that could also grab you, but that mixing the archetypes like that often muddies the design. This is but a small sample size of the enemies that players can expect to counter over the course of their journey in Star Wars Jedi Survivor. There are still all sorts of hostile wildlife that you'll encounter on the various planets.
I hate
Plus,
the wildlife.
Imperialists.
Yo, I hate the wild. I'll fight human enemies all day. I hate fighting the wildlife. They shoot venom at you. Their hitboxes are weird. You can get jumped by a bunch of them, and I hate fighting the wildlife. I'll fight the human, the droids and the scout troopers all day. I'll even do the boss fights all day, rather than fight those little animals. They're so annoying.
And other human factions like the Bedlam Raiders found on Kobo. It's also just a small part of our continuing coverage of Star Wars Jedi Survivor, so keep checking IGN all throughout the month of February for more.
Definitely will. All right, we already did the video on this, but yeah, I like how you can. There's a lot of different ways you can throw your sabers and boomerang them, and then there's different force powers and stuff like that. I'm guessing some of this stuff. Oh, excuse me. I'm guessing some of this stuff you unlock as you go along in Jedi Fallen Order. So there might be some repeat abilities, but I don't know because I haven't finished yet. Like I said, I'm working my way through it. I feel like I'm halfway through the game, so I still got more, or maybe a little more than half. So I still got more things to unlock and more abilities to unlock. But I like how they stay true to the source material and they give you a really authentic Star Wars experience. Like this could easily be slipped into the canon. I don't know if this is considered canon, but it looks like the story here could be slipped directly into canon because of the timelines and where events are taking place. So yeah, very dope game. Definitely looking forward to playing it. I gotta hurry up and beat Fallen Order, and I'll probably play it right after this. And yeah, it was dope. But y'all let me know. Y'all let me know if y'all like this game, if y'all into Star Wars. If you watch The Bad Batch and Andor, and are you excited for season 3 of The Mandalorian? Let me know. Comment down below. We have a discussion about it. So that's all we got for this video. So y'all already know the vibes. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It's your boy JusticeXFalls, and we out. One.